Alrighty, we're here with the big one, the NPL Men's Grand Final that is this Saturday evening at 7:30 at Perry Park. I'm joined here today by Austin Ludwig and Steve White, both captains of Gold Coast Knights and Olympic respectively. Lads, how are we today?
Good mate, good, happy to be here.
Not bad.
Fantastic. Obviously looking forward to a great matchup, a rematch of the 2019 Grand Final. You boys excited?
Yeah, very excited obviously. It's the final, it's the big dance, it's the Grand Final, so that's what we played for and why we do it and get down here, so.
Yeah.
5 times for me, so the emotion.
Been there, done that, let's go.
So hopefully we can this time take away the trophy.
Yeah. I'll get started in just talking a bit about yourselves. Obviously you've been around the Queensland leagues for a number of years now. So Austin, you played a lot on the Gold Coast and in between your stints from the US colleges and whatnot. So how's that been and now being at Knights?
So I was, born and raised on the Gold Coast. So through the juniors, I played at numerous different clubs, and then back then there was like the Gold Coast rep system. So I played in that as I got a little bit older. Before the QAS picked me up at about the 13s, 14s, I was with QAS for a few years there, and then that kind of transitioned into the Raw Youth.
Yeah.
That was kind of the progression back then. So I kind of followed the steps for the Queensland system back then as a junior player. And then leading into the senior system, I left the Raw Youth at about 18 and actually went over to the US and did the college thing there. But I would come back here and that's when I had my kind of senior football with the Queensland NPL or Football Queensland Premier League, I think it used to be called, and jumped around Gold Coast United. Gold Coast City was called back then when it transitioned from Palm Beach, so kind of had that experience. And then now at Gold Coast Knights, coming back, finishing up in the US and brought on board there. So
So a bit more set now and set with Knights. And,
definitely. It's good to. I came about halfway through last year, and then obviously this whole season. So really settled in well there and loving it.
What is it most you love about the Knights?
It's good culture. I think the Croatian community, the backing. It's a good facility as well. Everyone. I mean, this year the pitch has been a bit tough with all the rain, but generally the pitch is really good. The facility is quite good. They look after us really well, and the Croatian community backing us is really nice to have. Yeah,
that's awesome. And Steve, you've been with Olympic for the last 5 years and had been a part of some very good Olympic teams. Obviously part of the Mariners in the youth setup, and also a stint to the US with Seattle. Do you want to tell us a bit about that and a bit about your journey?
Grew up on the Central Coast. Back then it was a sort of not a pub team, but you just play for your local team. There's no real rep thing. To under 16s, I think. Under 16s you go into it. But I got picked up by the Mariners youth team at 15 and was in there for a long time. And then sort of made my way over through the coach John Hutchinson to Seattle and played a season there, which was a good experience in the second team. And then found my way back with Ben, who I was with at the Mariners at Olympic FC.
Yeah, nice. So phone call from Benny and up you come. So how have you enjoyed the last 5 years at Olympic? What's been some good things about it?
It's been good. The first year was a bit different, but the club culture there with the Greeks and the community side to it is very good. The juniors there are pretty good. They look after you, their parents and stuff. They're pretty supportive. Yeah,
and you're heavily involved in the coaching ranks and in and around the club there as well. How's that been for you? Yeah,
it's good. You build a connection with the juniors as well as the parents. There's a lot of kids, which is good, and coaching's good as well.
Yeah, nice. Touching on that, so this season, Austin, we'll start with you. You had a bit of a disappointing year last year, finishing sixth. There was a bit of a sort of turbulent time there for Knights, and not quite to where you would like to be, you'd say. But finished second this year. Had a great season behind the Premier's Lions. How would you describe this year for you?
Yeah, this year's been better. Obviously, we were very disappointed last year. Sixth just wasn't good enough, not with the club standards. It was a bit of a stop-start year with COVID, coaching stuff and things like that. So not an excuse, but we were disappointed, and then we kind of just said, we wanted to go win it all this year and go for that first place. So, I mean, it's a testament to the standards that the club has that we're disappointed that we finished second and we weren't really pushing Lions as much as we would have liked to come the end of the year. But still second place, getting that home semi is a good thing for the club. But again, we've won that now, moving on and onto the big one. But this season's been a lot better, definitely, and it's kind of what we aim for. Bit disappointing not to go further, but we're in the grand final now, so can't really complain about that.
Yeah, and you've had some good signings as well. Like not only at the start of the year with people like Pascal Vita, etc. But then also mid-season with Anthony Polyak as well. How have they been to really sort of help bolster the squad there?
Yeah, the squad looks a lot different than it did last year. So the signings that Scotty was able to bring in early in the year, and then in the mid-season window, we had a few players move on and come to us, and I think they've really helped us for this back end of the season, and the squad's in a good place, and I think just the group altogether, the players have really helped. So no, it's been really good. Yeah,
great. And Steve, another year, another finals appearance. It's 5 in a row. You've had a bit of a rollercoaster year, like some results not quite going your way. 2 draws to Capalaba, for example, and the likes. But like, how have you managed to stay strong and really sort of push forward for that finals spot?
It has been a bit of a rollercoaster of the season. We lost Jack Glover at the start of the season with ACL, Zach Innocent to work, and then halfway through the year we lost Keegan to the A-League, which was really good. Yeah. But really good for him, because when he first come in, we were like, how is this guy in our league? He was just a freak on the ball and off the ball.
He was,
But we just adjusted. It took a bit of time when we lost all those players, but in the end we got there. We did drop points, but also we did have very strong performances throughout the year against the top 4 teams and middle teams as well.
Yeah, and also speaking of signings, like you had Zach Kierpel, who's been quite good for you up front, and helping to replace some of those holes as well. You lost a few boys, but you picked up a few others as well. A couple
definitely.
of Japanese boys. How have they been helping your team this year?
Yeah, good. Zach's young, he's fresh, he's hungry, he just wants to score goals. He literally just said, I'm here to score goals, and which he's done, which is good.
Good lad.
But Ben's guided him really well. The Japanese boys are good, Taka and Yoshi. They've adjusted well. Yoshi's English barrier is a bit different, but he adjusted, he got there in the end. He's learning English every day, which helps him.
Yeah, nice. And Austin, we'll go back to you. Like you had an amazing game against Lions early in the year. You said you wanted to match Lions this year, and you put 6 goals past them in what is the opening round, obviously after the rain delays and whatnot. Yeah. But what an opening start to your campaign. What a match.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we knew that would be a benchmark or thereabouts at the time. So like you said, we wanted to match him and we wanted to be the best in the league. So it was a good start, definitely. Looking back at it now, a lot's changed since then. They kept kicking on, that's what they do. But yeah, it was a good game. It was a good foundation for us to know that we were 3-1 down in that game. To be as a group and just know we've got the character, we can come back and we can match it, and everything we've worked towards thinking we can match it with the best in the league, we set the tone from the start with that game. Crazy game, but it was good to come out like that. And then I think it did, like I said, set the foundation for that character and for the boys to know that when push comes to shove, which it did many times this year, we could come back from being behind it and get results, and sometimes even hang on. So it was definitely a good start. It was a good game.
Any other games that you had this season that really sort of stand out to you? Or?
Look, we've been through it all this year between red cards and injuries and things like that, so I can't really put my finger on one in particular. That one would definitely be as the first game, and just 6-3 after being behind. So it was it was a crazy one. I need a bit more time to think about so many, but that one stands out for sure. Yeah.
Well, speaking of defeating Lions, you guys are coming off the back of an incredible semi-final win. Zach Kierpel just lost to score goals, and boy did he. Just run us through that game and just the rollercoaster that it was.
Yeah, look, we went with a bit of a different formation, which worked out in the end. It was a rollercoaster of a game. There was, we conceded 8, we scored, they scored, sort of thing. And then we brought Zach on, and he was just hungry to score a goal and just got away in the end.
And shock with the penalty save in there as well.
Yeah, that was a big relief for me, because apparently I gave away the penalty. But I don't really remember touching anyone. But it was a big relief that he saved that, because that was me.
Yeah, no, great. You always seem to have some epic clashes over the years, so that just goes down as another one.
Yeah,
and good to have one on the Olympic tally there as well. So
definitely.
In terms of signings, a big one for you this year, Austin, was signing Scott McDonald, and just what a signing that was for you guys to really sort of change the direction of the club. What's it been like having a former Socceroo, former A-Leagues player, come not long after finishing a playing career, come and stepping into that coaching role? How's that been?
Yeah, well, exactly. I think that's the key part, is that he was a player not long ago at all. So the fact that he's stepped into a coaching role and come on board with us has been, you know, a huge asset to the club because he brings that professionalism, because he was involved in it just so, you know, recently. And he had such a decorated career overseas in the A-League as well towards the end. So I think that experience just, you know, can only help a club and get us going in the right direction. So yeah, he's full on definitely, but that's what we want. And I think the group we have, you know, we want that seriousness, and we don't want to just, you know, come down for a kickabout. So appointing a coach like that kind of matches what we want to do as a group and what the club wants to do.
Yeah. So how does he, like being a former player, like use that to inspire like some of the, I suppose the youth products in your squad there? Like what does he bring to them?
Like I said, he's full on. He brings the intensity for sure. But I think the biggest part for me and for the younger boys is like, he doesn't just talk the talk as a coach. He's walked the walk. He can, you know, still get out there and jump in and get involved in training.
He was on the card earlier in the season.
He was. We won't talk too much about that. But yeah, he still gets involved, and he's very, very hands-on with, you know, certain things and coaching right down to, you know, every little phase. Sometimes, you know, he'll even pull himself up saying I'm over-coaching, but that's just because he is just so passionate. And I think as a player so recently, that's just part of what you get with him.
Yeah.
So for the younger boys, the strikers especially, what a great coach to have, and to be with someone who's scored so many goals at a high level. But as a whole, all the players that just really value him being there.
Yeah, awesome. And Ben Cahn is obviously probably one of the league's best coaches, not just in probably Queensland, but you'd almost argue in Australia. How has it been playing with someone, playing under Ben Cahn for a number of years, and just what things does he bring to the squad?
Ben's a great coach. I've had him for about 7 to 8 years now. So, you know, when I come back from America, it was a no-brainer to come straight to Olympic with Ben. His standard is so high. The details in sessions, you know, and with the staff as well. So he's obviously got a good staff to help him as well. But his standard for training, the games, you know, he just has a high standard, and the details of everything he does is just high quality.
Yeah, and how it is not just Ben, but yourself as a senior member of the squad and other senior members of the squad. How do you be resilient? For this is like your fifth grand final, but coming off the back of 4 unsuccessful ones. How do you maintain that resilience, but maintain that drive to really kind of go and get the next one? You know,
I think just every year you want to win it. You know, you have that goal at the start of the season to win it. So every year we've, you know, lost, we've just come back and been like, let's win this one, and just keep pushing and pushing till the end of the season. And you know, we've made 5 grand finals, which is an achievement in itself.
Yeah.
So hopefully this one, you know, we can take the trophy home.
Well, speaking of the grand final, it's Knights versus Olympic, and it doesn't really get much better than that. Two of the best supporter clubs, you'd say, in the league. How do you feel coming with the home fans coming up on the bus?
Yeah, definitely. We saw 2019, the final, the support that they got there from both clubs. So knowing that it's going to be similar, maybe even better support this time, is just a great occasion to be a part of. We want to win it, of course, so we want to make those fans happy and make the journey worth it. So we're looking forward to it as a playing group, and I think the fans are looking forward to getting up and supporting us.
Yeah, and Steve, the Olympic active support, they've been there singing in numbers for a number of years now. I'm sure nothing will change there.
No, nothing's going to change there. They're great.
Looking forward to playing in front of such a big crowd there.
Yeah, you know, I think every year's massive crowd, and I think 2019 where we played Knights was decent, and it was a good crowd from both sides. So I think this one's just going to be even bigger.
Yeah. How are you both feeling ahead of the match? Teams preparing well.
Yeah, I think you're on a high after a semi-final win, both teams, of course, but you know, that's not the job done. It's, you know, just a step in the right direction. So I think the coaching staff for us is at least trying to bring us back down to earth for this week, and to work on a few things, which we've still got a session tonight and a little bit more to do before the weekend. So, but we're in a good spot. A few niggling injuries, which you'd expect, but no, we're in a good place, and getting the mind on the job for the weekend and forgetting about the semi, I think now is most important.
Yeah, and how about yourself, Steve?
Yeah, quite the same. We got brought back down to earth pretty quickly. You know, the next day we were into it straight away, preparing sort of thing.
Nice. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, I'm sure it will be an absolute belter, and I'm very, very much excited for the game. Obviously, this Saturday at Perry Park, kicking off at 7:30. Tickets are most definitely still available, so I encourage as many of you to come out and see not just these two, but their teams as well in action in what will be hopefully a grand final for the ages. So, Austin, Steve, thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate it, and all the best for the final.